All right, sound check, sound check. Miss Cindy, I left you a voicemail. Can y'all hear me? Miss Cindy, I've been looking for you. Um, okay, I'll get with you after the show. Okay, Miss Cindy. Okay, all right, thank you. All right, much love to everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome to Thursday Night Live on the Hard Truth. Man, y'all gonna be tripping on me, but we got some things to talk about tonight, y'all. I hope y'all had a good week. I hope everybody's doing fine. Hope everybody's safe and sound. Happy New Year. Welcome to the new members, Sunny Day, Elizabeth, and also CR. I guess those are her initials. She's not in the chat right now, but that's another person that just joined. And so welcome to all of you. Shout out to Annie Ruler and Blue Aqua, Miss Cindy. Much love, much love. We're gonna get started right away. And I'm just telling y'all, have an open mind now. Cause I'm telling you, this is weird. This is it right here. I don't care. Thank you, Miss Cindy. I got y'all tonight, but hold on, let me give these shout outs. All right, here we go. Shout out to B River Girl. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see everybody. All right. Now, the first thing I want to stress is that all of my findings are based on numerology. Okay, I looked up these numbers in the Hebrew concordance. So anybody that's saying, "Well, where are you getting all this hard truth?" I'm telling you where I'm getting it from. I looked up a bunch of numbers that are associated with the case, and I was just playing around. I was just saying, "Let me see what I can see if there are any patterns." Okay, I looked in the Hebrew concordance, and you can do the same thing. Let me put that in the chat. That's my source. All right, y'all remember last time we were in the shout out to Susan. I'm sorry. Shout out to Susan Gardner. All right. So let's see. Love you too, Miss Cindy. Now, the first thing I want to do is go back to what we said before. Remember, we said that, okay, and also let me put satanic ritual in the chat so y'all know where I'm coming from. Because this was real ritualistic. I believed it then and I believe it now. All right. So I'm going to just ease into this. And what I'm saying here is, first of all, we know it's ritualistic because there are so many satanic and demonic undertones in the numbers. All right. We saw that 1122, 1 plus 1 plus 2 is 6. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 3 is 6. And then we got 6 people in this picture. Hold on. All right, y'all. I'm sorry. Y'all following me so far. We got 666 from 1122, 11113, and 6 people in this picture, which I don't believe this picture is insignificant. I believe that this picture was planned. I believe that it's almost mocking. because I believe this picture is almost mocking, because I believe they meant to kill all 6 of them, and I'm going to prove it. And also, I believe that, okay, it was more than 6 people that came to do it. It was more than 6 people. All right, let me start out slow. I need to make one more card to make sure I got everything the way that I got it. All right, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, let's go to this one right here. All right. The first thing you need to know is that y'all can still hear me? Somebody, y'all can still hear me? Can y'all still hear me? Les, Robin, somebody. Can y'all still hear me? Can y'all still hear me? Okay. All right, here we go. Now, the first thing you need to know, and y'all can take notes so you can check behind me and you can go and research it for yourself, because the Hebrew concordance is all over. Or, I doubt you have one at home, but some people might, especially if you're Jewish. But this is my source, and you're welcome to check it. Now, the first point I want to make after that is, if you look on this card in the middle, because these are my notes, okay? These are my notes. I'm lagging on the chat. Okay, I'm not sure how to fix that, but I'm gonna just keep going. Now, hold on, Miss Cindy. I'm gonna give y'all the floor to say whatever you need to say. After I finish, I want to hear what y'all really are thinking about this. All right, but let me explain. Now, hold on. Let me take this comment off of here. I'm gonna take your comments, everybody. Just give me a minute to take this comment off of here. I want to make sure I tell it exactly the way I got it. Hold on, I got to get this off here so you can see the whole screen. There it is. Now let me make this a little bigger. All right, that's the best I can get. All right, what you need to look at right now is the numbers 1 and 2. All right, in the Hebrew concordance, the number 1 means father, and it's masculine. It tells you whether it's masculine or feminine. Number 2 also means father, but it's plural. So 1122 is all fathers, and it's all masculine. So I would say that everybody involved in the actual murders were male. So for that reason, I ruled out DM and BF. You can see where I made a note here, and it says DM and BF no, right? That's because the 1122 means fathers, several fathers. And the reason I say it's more than 6, it had to be at least 6. I'll put it that way. Because we got 1, 2, and then the number 2 means more than one father. So there were at least 2. So there were at least 6 people, but it could have been more. It could have been more, but they were all male. They were all male. All right. Let's take that note. All right, number 3. Oh, and also in the Hebrew concordance, 666 means perish, destroy. I put that in the chat. That's what it means. All right. Now, the next thing I want to look at is why I think, where I find Bryan Kohberger. And also, let me back up. Because of this right here, I think this picture right here and the other 6s is proof that they meant to kill all 6 of these people. They expected all 6 of them to be there, and they expected to end the lives of all 6. Okay? So write that down. Now, let me go back to this slide. Now, when you look up 1122 all together as one number, it means scribe, writer, secretary, town clerk. It's masculine, so it's a man. All right? Remember, equals 666. It's masculine. So this person is a man, a low-level professional. All right? It's made up a bunch of fathers, but this is a masculine person in a low-level secretarial or assistant type position. Now, look here. When you look up Bryan Kohberger's arrest date, 12/30, and I'm going to put this in the chat. When you look up Bryan Kohberger's birthday, arrest date, 12/30, it means Levite. And when you, let me see if I can make this bigger. All right, I'm going to read it to you. It says, a member of the Hebrew tribe of Levi, especially of that part of which provided assistance to the priests in the worship in the Jewish temple. Let me tell you something. 1122 and 1230 both mean assistant, because that's what a secretary is. And so who is the assistant in this case? Who is assistant? Who is the assistant? Who is the assistant in this case? Let me go to the chat. All right. Shout out to the Vino. All right. My partner in crime. All right. I'm going to have to explain. Let me see. Y'all have to remind me of where I was. Let me put the link out. All right. Let me go back and say that one more time. Let me go back and say that one more time. 1122 means, I'm gonna show you one of them, because y'all think I'm bull driving around. Y'all think it's a joke. Y'all think I'm messing around, fooling around. All right, let me drop another bomb on you. Not only does, let me show you this. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but y'all gonna trip. Y'all gonna trip. Let me just erase that doubt right quick, so y'all know I'm serious. All right. Here is the lexicon for the Hebrew Concordance. All right. This is for 12/30, December the 30th, the day of Bryan Kohberger's arrest. Let me blow it up for you. Before we even get to the assistant, look what keeps coming up. Look what keeps coming up. Vegetarian. You look at. Now I'm gonna go back to where I clipped the actual definition right here. Now, it don't come no stronger than that, y'all. Assistant vegetarian male secretary or assistant. Assistant came up 2 times. All right, because this here it is right here. It came up 2 times. It came up for 11:22 and it came up for 12:30, and both of them are masculine. Both of them are masculine. All right. Hold on, I'm buffering a little bit. I see you, Les. Hold on a minute. So, hold on a minute, Les. Listen, we got a scribe, which is pretty much an assistant. And then when we go to 12:30, it spells it out. It spells it out. All right, hold on. I see you, Davino. All right, thank you, both of you. Hold on, I don't want to get lost. What I was saying, 11:22 scribe, secretary, and then his the day of his arrest, we got assistant, the actual word assistant. I'm gonna show it to you one more time because I gave you a screenshot, so you won't say I wrote that in. Look, it says provided assistance to the priest. The word assistant is actually there. And so you tell me, we got a male, we got vegetarian, and we got assistant twice. You can't tell me that's not Bryan Kohberger. Now, that doesn't place him anywhere or do anything yet. I'm not getting ahead of myself because all that's just saying is I see Bryan. I don't know about you, but that's what I see. And I wasn't looking for that. This is stuff that I pulled just making notes and just pasting it on slides as I go. And then let me also back up. When I saw fathers in 11:22 so many times, I thought about Mr. G, but I don't want to bring that up yet. But that's the only father that came to me. All right, that's the only thing that came to me. Okay, hold on, let me get my notes. Intended to get, okay, we got that. All right, let me show you something else. I looked up all the birthdays. All right, I looked up all of the birthdays of all the victims. And I'm gonna tell you, I got the only link that I got between anybody out of all 4 of them was Maddie and BK. And I got vegetarian for Maddie. I got her birthday is May 25th, 7/25. I got some other things too, but I got like 2 connections to Maddie and Bryan. I looked up all 4 of them. And then I got the number 40 for Xana. I still don't know what that means yet. But Maddie and Bryan are connected. Vegetarianism is a strong theme in this case. I'm gonna put that in the chat again. And vegetarianism explains why Murphy was spared. Now, my theory is, all right, shout out to A. I don't want to get lost trying to give shout outs because you know how absent-minded I am. I need to get this out the way I saw it. All right, covenant and covenant that are vegetarians and issues between them and those that eat meats and how peace must ensue. What I'm saying is Maddie and I think Xana worked at the Mad Greek, right? So I said, if this vegetarian keeps coming up, one of the 2 at the Mad Geek had to be the one, or maybe both of them. but it's not both of them. It's Maddie. It's Maddie. I'm telling you, it's Maddie. And I believe she was the one that he was looking at. It's possible that he was just stalking her, just watching her from afar and whatever. And this is where I kind of got confused on this, and maybe you can explain it. But Bryan Kohberger left his apartment and turned his phone off while he was driving at about 2:46. This is about the same time that the last call to Jack D went out at about 2:46. I think the last call was at 2:52 from whose phone? Maddie's. All right. The sheep was found under who? Maddie. The coat was found under who? Maddie. I mean, the coat that we saying looks like a man's coat. It was so big, you know. This is speculation off of these numbers. Okay, I'm gonna open the floor right here before I show anything else. What do y'all think about this?
Well, I am 100% with you. When this happened initially, see, I follow two other they're Christian channels, but they do deal with numbers, like so that we
Right.
can see when things are in the news, we can kind of look and see how it was planned. And when people do rituals, when satanic rituals are planned out, they do it by numbers. You know,
They
they
do.
do it on dates on purpose. You know, certain things on purpose to make it match. And people can think that's crazy, but once you've seen it over and over and over again, it's like that's just how they do it, and it's more often than we think. So a year ago, these two
Hold
different.
on. Hold on, Les. Let me put that in chat because it happened November 13th, and
Mhm.
1113 equals what?
6, and Robin pointed out yesterday that 2022 equals a 6.
Yeah, all of it equals 6. It's not an accident. The
Yeah, from
address is not an accident,
yep.
and the date is not an accident. Okay, go
Right.
ahead.
So I'm sorry. So a year ago, I was watching these channels that talked about it, and they independently of each other pointed out the numbers, pointed out that it was obvious, you know, a satanic ritual. The abortion was brought up, but
Yeah, it is. Abortion is a part of it.
yeah, but they didn't say who did it. They didn't look up the way you're doing it. They just looked it up on a numerology website, which they do. But the way you
Yeah,
looked
but
it
the
up
cheese
is
over there
even
like a cold.
more blowing my mind. Like I didn't even know you could do it through a Hebrew concordance.
Don't forget to drink your
Um,
tea.
Yeah, well, I trust the coordinates.
Cool,
I
I do
know it's
right?
too.
not wrong.
I
That's
do
why I got
too.
so excited because
That's why.
this
Yeah.
not the Psychic Network. This is not some numerology book for people trying to win the lottery. This is the concordance, the Hebrew concordance. These definitions are for the Bible. So
Oh,
I trust them.
Gotta cool
I'm
down by
with you.
now.
I'm on it. I know. I'm 100% with you. I didn't want to bring up numerology way back because I didn't, you know, want to freak anybody out or offend anybody. But I mean, that's
Yeah, don't
definitely
pull up to me.
Right.
Davino's working again. I think Davino's working again. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I've been following it. You know, people have been saying that for a while, and yeah, that's crazy about the Hebrew concordance. I absolutely believe and trust that. When you said assistant, I said,
That's
oh,
what I said. Because the
oh,
first time I saw it, it said scribe, secretary, and the thought crossed my mind, but that wasn't enough. I was like, I'm speculating. But then when I looked up the date of his arrest, I saw the word assistant, and I knew then. I was like, you know, this before I got to Maddie, but I was like, oh,
it's crazy. It's all scripted out so perfectly,
It
and the
is
more you look into it, the more you find clues. A lot of times, I was just gonna say what these other channels do is they'll take like somebody's birthday, and they'll say, you know, they were born this day, they died that day, and they'll figure up the numbers of days in between or something and look it up, and it'll say sometimes it has their name or it'll come up with a word that describes that person like perfectly. It's
right.
crazy. It's
It does.
crazy.
It's exact. And another thing I thought about was Maddie is the vegetarian, not Xana, that I'm seeing. Because when you think about the grub truck, you know how hungry you get after you drink and smoke weed or whatever they were doing?
Yeah,
They didn't order any meat, just macaroni and cheese.
that's true.
They didn't order any meat. So I said, it is Maddie. I just feel it. It was Maddie. And then I thought, well, maybe he was in the woods just peeping at Maddie. You know, he got an eye full. He was just somewhere he wasn't supposed to be. But that doesn't make sense either, because Maddie wasn't home at 2:40. I mean, during the, before they came home and got on the phone, or wherever they was on the phone from, because we're assuming they was calling Jack D from the house.
Right.
That may or may not be true. We don't know where they were when they were calling Jack, because we don't have any evidence of who took them home and how they got there. They're not showing the driver on camera. They don't have him on camera, or they would have showed it.
Right.
They said he came to them and told him he took him home. They couldn't even get that straight. First it was a Uber. Then it was a private driver. The sister came back. I'm telling you, that G family, I'm telling you. She came back and said it was a private driver. So what you cleaning that up for?
Yeah, there's something weird going on with that family and the stuff that they're coming out with. It's too weird. You said that Xana, you come up with a number of 40 and you didn't know what it meant.
Right.
I'm gonna look that up while we're doing this, but
yeah, look it up, because I didn't get to that. But
all right, well, I just want to tell you, hey, don't think nobody's listening to you. You got all our attention, and we're here for it.
Oh, thank you so much. At least y'all listening before you throw the tomatoes.
Nah, I'm gonna get off here, but I'll put it in chat when I find out.
All right.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye-bye. All right, listen. Where were we? We were talking about Maddie, and it's piling up on Maddie, because before I even looked at this stuff, I mean, we already know that people were trying to say it was Maddie for some drugs, flushing some drugs. You know, I don't know. I don't see drugs. I see, infatuation. All right, let's go back to this card. Okay, 1113 also means king of Babylon. And also the words pride and vanity I had on another slide. Okay, and another thing I skipped was number 4. I was debating on whether the murderers were looking to kill the 4 that were killed, or were they looking for the whole 6. When I looked up 4, when I looked up 4, it was masculine. So 3 of the victims were female. And then it means fruit. So I don't think, but 6 means perish and destroy. So out of the 2, just from looking at it, some say eliminate the 4. It was all 6 that was supposed to die. Number 4 means fruit, and it's masculine. That don't add up, because we've got 3 victims that's female, and they meant to get 2 more females. So I don't think a 4 would have came up. So I eliminated the 4 and said all 6 were supposed to perish, because they were. And I believe that's why they had that picture taken. I don't even understand why they gathered at somebody else's house, because it's not 1122 King Road. I don't understand. Let's go to that picture right quick. I don't understand why they would go congregate somewhere, all 6 of them. Kayla didn't even live there anymore. And then that begs the question of where were they? And when was this picture taken? It's so eerie that they got all 6 of these kids on here. And as far as I'm concerned, all 6 was supposed to be pretty much executed. You know, that's bad. That's bad. Shout out to Mountain Man. All right, good to see you. Good to see you. People coming in late, you're going to have to watch from the beginning, because you got to understand just the single numbers mean something. And then when you put them all together, they mean something. It was all 6 was supposed to, All right, let me go back here. This is another reason the motive was not drugs. It was affection for someone, and also youth, because we have Brian Kohlberg on the one hand with infatuation, But we have several people, at least 5, probably more than that was there for that reason, that didn't care anything about Maddie or any of the rest of them. They were there for that reason. And when I looked up the number 3, it means freshness, greenness, youth. And so that fits into a ritual also, and explains why it was these university kids and not some older women and men, in my opinion. Because the 3 came up from 12:30 and 11:13. And 3 means freshness, greenness. I mean, you can't get no worse than that. Greenness. I mean, you can't get no greener than Maddie and Kaylee and Ethan. I mean, all of them, because of their age, I would say all of them were green. Because in the street, green means you really wet behind the ears. You really don't know what's going on. So this is another part of, why I say the motive was not drugs. Somebody was in behind Maddie before this happened. This wasn't completely because of Maddie, but Bryan Kohberger being involved in anyway was because of Maddie. And if anybody left a sheath under Maddie, if anybody left Maddie's coat on the hydrant, it was Bryan Kohberger. Nobody else in that group cared. Nobody else in that group cared. Do you think whoever did it was seen by someone? Not while it was going on. I think it's possible that there were people in there hiding, but I think they got up out of there at some point. I believe they got up out of there. But the reason I say this, I believe there were several people in that house when this went down, but they were all participating in it. I believe DM and BF were long gone. I really do. I always believe that, but now I'm gonna say 100%. I don't believe either one of them were there. I'm seeing masculine. All of these numbers that I looked up say masculine. So I don't see DM and BF fitting into this at all, except for running out the door or somewhere hiding, And if DM was hiding, she wasn't hiding. She wasn't in her room with the door shut. She had to be in a closet somewhere, because that was a big house. And evidently they didn't go through all the closets probably. But I believe if DM was in there, she was in the closet. She wasn't in her room with the door cracked. That was the police saying that. That photo of the 6 of them was taken at Hunter Johnson's house during the summer. That's scary as all get out, because it's almost like, even back then, this was already planned out. And Ann Taylor was saying that Bryan Kohberger was convicted even before the case started. Ann Taylor said that. And I was like, what is she talking about? But I think she did know. And I think she knows all this, what I'm saying. And that's why she's sitting on her duff and she's not really putting forth a defense, because she already know what it is. Okay. Miss Cindy said they were in the summer clothes. Let's go back and look. And we might have to take a poll on this. Because, okay, I would say that it could be summer clothes because of these midriff shirts. I mean, usually if it's cold, a female, speaking for myself, wouldn't wear a shirt that is a midriff and you can't tuck it in because it's cold. It's going to get up under your shirt. The wind's going to get up under your shirt. I just don't think that, I think it's kind of contradictory to have on a shirt that's a cut off, a midriff, and then have on a jacket or a shirt with it. Either it's cold or it's not. I don't know whether this was a summer picture or not. I don't know what the weather is like in Idaho in the summer. Maybe Robin could tell us. But I don't know. All right, Davino. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, I thought that was sooner than that. I didn't know when the picture was taken, but what are the odds of all of these kids? You know, that makes a difference because Kaylee came back for the weekend. So we're assuming that these people knew that Kaylee was coming back, but that's not necessarily true now. If this picture was taken in the summer, that means that this was suggested even then. And I believe that you know, depending on where they posted it, any, you know, whoever scouted out the house and everything, they probably had this picture too. Okay, Leslie says it was taken during the fall. Can we get a definite on this? Because it's important. It was to Kathy Jean. Shout out to Kathy Jean. Let me see what you saying. Let me see what you saying. It was the Saturday before they left for the game. We need a definite on this. Maybe we need to put a pin in it because it matters when this picture was taken because it's all 6 of them. And you notice this is the picture that's being spread all over the place. And Hunter is a suspect. Hunter Johnson is a suspect. Even if he wasn't there actually committing the crime, I believe Hunter knew something about it. I believe Hunter is a part of the conspiracy. And I'm going to tell you something else. I believe that Brian did leave a knife sheath under Maddie, but I don't believe there was any DNA on it. I believe he was dumb enough to leave the sheath, but I don't believe that there was any DNA on it at all. I believe that the police put the DNA on it and they put it on the brass snap. And I think that the DNA sample that they got for Brian, it already says that it was a partial. And it was a partial. They didn't even have a whole sample, and it was on brass degrading. We know that the kids sat in there for hours, what, 12 hours, 11 hours? So we know that the DNA sample that they claim they got, maybe off the handle of his car, maybe, you know, going in the neighbor's trash, I think that's a lie. I think they had his DNA before he ever left Washington. That's what I believe. This is a good point right here. It was taken when everyone finally moved into the house, I believe. So they must have been celebrating that they now had a house together or something. Now, this makes sense because if they hadn't moved in together yet, why would they be taking a picture together? So maybe we can assume that this was taken sometime after they all knew they lived in the same house. I think you're right, Robin. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you a brain for that. I didn't even think about it that way. Yeah, that's true. Why would they be taking a picture together if they weren't roommates yet? That's on the real. All right. Let me see. Let's go back. I'm missing some stuff. Okay, I want to talk about the motive because this is something that's controversial here. And this is something that I really need to run some more numbers that I have. I didn't have time. I had time, but I was doing something else. Okay, so what I'm saying is 1113 means King of Babylon, pride and vanity. This could mean several things. All right. The first association I got was pride and vanity because if you date somebody or you like somebody and they don't like you, most of the time, you know, people not gonna just say, okay, you're lost, If if this is not what you want, hit the road, see you, won't want to be. But if the person doesn't think like that, they might feel like that person, how do you say it? I guess you could say rejection or whatever, or you could say it hurt the man or the woman's pride. Be honest. If you shoot your shot with somebody and they don't reciprocate the first time, you're gonna feel your pride is gonna be hurt. And I think that since pride and vanity is such a strong, it's coming through so strong for November the 13th. I'm saying that makes sense for somebody that's been watching somebody. Maybe the Mad Greek said that Bryan Kohberger never came into their restaurant, and they were adamant about that. They made a public statement. They don't want us to think that he was in there, but Maddie worked there, and he probably was in there. He probably was in there because he had to come across us some kind of way. You don't just do all of that unless you can hear that, at least hear that person's voice. I mean, just looking at pictures on social media, that ain't gonna get it as far. I mean, I guess you could just look at somebody's picture and be like, wow, bam, wow, fireworks. But for me personally, it takes a little more than that. You heard the voice or nothing, you know, you gotta at least hear the voice. And so I think he went in the Mad Greek. And I think Maddie was the one that he really liked. Or maybe he didn't like her. Maybe he just wanted to have sex with her. Just because a man is stalking somebody doesn't mean that he's in love with her. He could just want to smash, you know, and he couldn't. Or he didn't, you know, he couldn't. And so obsession doesn't necessarily mean love. I feel like for whatever reason, you know, because I don't see Maddie as his type, but maybe I was wrong about that. Because this dude is coming up strong with Maddie. That's the connection I get. We got two links to vegetarian, and I see Bryan and Maddie together. I see not together as dating or talking. I see them linked together as associated with one another. All right, and so whoever Maddie was with and had their coat, to me, the coat looks feminine. The black coat looks feminine to me. I could be wrong, but even though it's too big for her, maybe the female she got it from was bigger than her because Maddie, it was tiny. But I think the coat looks like a female coat. I don't know. But if it was a male coat, belonged to a male, you know, I don't know. All I know is, according to the phone records, Bryan Kohberger supposedly didn't leave Pullman until 2:40 something in the morning. And my question is, how did he know that they were not home until after 2:00 in the morning? How did he know to come out? How did they all know? Because I don't believe he was the only one there. I know he wasn't the only one. It was a house full of people. It was a house full of people. I believe it's concordance. I'm sorry. It's telling us it was a house full of men. It was a house full of men. It was a house full of guys. It was a house full of guys. I can't say what guys, but I'm going to tell you something else spooky. And this got to do with Mr. Seagal. I don't know if it was in the interview we did or the interview he did with this girl like a year ago or whatever. But he was saying that he saw the guys that he saw in there were mature. They had day jobs. They worked for a living during the day. And then they came and did this, you know, they was in the house on the down low. So look at the 1122 where it means, and it's masculine, and it means all of these fathers, all of these men. Mr. Seagal confirmed that these men worked during the day. I believe he even said one of them worked construction or some kind of manual type job and had a beard. And I hate to misquote Mr. Seagal, but I got a pretty good memory from what I hear. I have to go back and look. I made a note to go back and pull that interview and listen again. Okay, or maybe I'll ask him. But what I'm saying is, That lines up with fathers. And that is why, and y'all, here come another rotten tomato. This is why I never felt that the frat kids were involved in the actual murders, because they were too young. I said this on 2 videos. I told you grown men did this. Grown men. Everybody in there was at least 28. What's Brian? 28. Everybody in there was 28 and up. And it was full of men. Kids, it wasn't no 20, 21, 22-year-olds was up in there doing the crime. These was grown men. That's why I keep rejecting the frat. And everybody, listen, everybody on the internet is sold on Linda Lane and the frat. They don't even come on my channel because they know I don't want to hear it. Because I know that's not it. I don't have no feeling. I don't have no nothing jumping me when I talk about the frats. Because I know kids didn't put this together and do this right down the street from where they sleep. Less than a mile from where they sleep. I don't believe it. I'm sorry, I don't. They might have been in the house, in the closet. Hunter might have been there in the closet. And I'm going to tell you who else. I'm going to tell you who knows something about what happened out of those kids. I'm going to tell you who knows. And I'm going to put it in the chat. This is going to trip you out. I'm going to tell you who knows exactly who in the university students knows something, may have been in the closet. I'm going to tell you know everything. Adam. Adam knows everything. Let me find his picture. And I'm going to tell you how I know. Adam knows everything. All right. Let me get my notes so I can get this straight. But I'm telling you, Adam knows everything. Adam knows everything that happened. He knows because of Jack and Hunter. Hunter is smack dab in the middle of this. I don't know if he's associated with some ritualistic temple. I don't know if he just happened to be over there and was in the closet, which is very likely because he was over there all the time. It's almost like he lived there. He answered the door. When the police came and Kaylee came out, he came out. When a man act like that, he lives there. When Kaylee came out, he came out and sat on the sofa, kind of like having her back when she was talking to the police. If he didn't have any, if he was just Joe Blow over there looking for a drink or a party or hanging out for whatever, he wouldn't have done that. Nobody else came out. Hunter was living there. He wasn't moved in with all of his stuff, but he was there enough to be a tenant. And he could have very well been in the closet. And he could have very well told Adam. But anybody that knows anything about this case told Adam. All of them told him. Jack D was in the corner club. Let me pull him up. I'm just telling you what I see now. Jack D was in the corner club when the girls were there. All right, remember this. Remember this. Before Maddie and Kaylee got there, Jack was telling Adam stuff. Jack was telling Adam stuff. That's why he was there. He wasn't there to talk to Kaylee and Maddie. He was there talking to Adam, telling him stuff. Adam knows everything. I don't know how I know. He knows everything. All right, hold on, Les. All right, go ahead. All right.
No, I was just going to say that just because you're a part, from what I've learned, because I've studied it for a little bit, just because something happens in a satanic ritual kind of way doesn't mean that the killers were Satanists. You know how we talked yesterday about
Right. Wait,
Satanists?
no, not right.
No, I just want to spit it out, and then you tell me because I'm not. I have to explain it.
Anybody that's doing a ritual is
They,
satanic
yeah,
because
I know.
you
I
only
agree with.
you
I agree
you
with that. That's
only
not what I'm
pulling up
saying.
one or two spirits.
That's
Either you conjuring up the Holy Spirit in some fashion, or you conjuring up some unclean spirits.
right,
Because
but listen. You know how we were talking yesterday about how Satanists pray more than Christians? A lot of them, a lot of times.
they do.
Okay, they do pray for things like this to happen, and they do use people who are not Christians, obviously, to do this. It doesn't mean, because those people do have spirits living in them that are evil. You're right. It's one or the
I
other.
didn't say they had spirits in them and they were evil. I didn't say that.
Well, I'm saying it.
Because a
That
lot of people in the satanic temple have no idea what they're into,
they don't. That's what I'm saying, but it's one
especially
or
the
the
young
other.
people.
Okay,
But
my point is just that doesn't mean they were in the satanic church, the people who did this.
that's exactly right. That doesn't mean that it was in the satanic temple specifically that organization. But anybody that killed 4 people is worshiping the devil. I don't care who it is
No,
because
I
you,
agree.
you
I
took
agree.
4 lives. Now, to your point, to give credit to your point, it's possible. We talked about this in the members live. It's
Mm-hmm.
possible that the satanic temple was over there doing their ritual, which they admitted they did.
Yep.
Let me put that up as proof because some people might say, well, where you getting that from? Because they admit that they've been doing rituals to stop these bans. And
Yep.
arguing over abortion is a bigger topic than people realize in politics. It means all the gynecologists moving out of Idaho because of that ban. First of all, a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
could lose money. Second of all, babies are sacrificed. Babies are sold. The people that can't have kids.
Yep.
Babies are used to sacrifice. Babies represent new life. Okay, let me go back to my card. Let me go back to my
And they're
card.
and they're trafficked and everything else. Yeah.
Look at number 3 on this card: freshness, greenness. You
Mm-hmm.
know, freshness, newness. That's babies, is what I'm saying. But
No, I agree.
let me pull up the Satanic Temple banner first that says they're doing this ritual, and then I'm gonna give you credit. I'll show you how I can give you credit for what you said because there's some merit to it. Hold on, let me find it. I got so many tabs up here.
It can be overwhelming when this stuff starts popping off in your head.
Here it is right here. Here it is right here. All right, hold on. And they talking about abortion right here in the first paragraph. They're pissed off about that. They're not the only ones though. The Satanic Temple's religious abortion ritual exempts TST members from enduring medically unnecessary and unscientific regulation. Let me blow that up. Cause y'all, I know I feel a few rotten tomatoes. I'm not making this up. The Satanic Temple's religious abortion ritual. They're telling you they did it. And they're not the only ones. Any group that's that wants to support abortion, whether they're doing rituals or not, that's doing rituals, they're doing it too. Now to your point,
I hear you. I hear you.
no,
I just I
but to
didn't want
your
to.
point,
Well,
no,
yeah,
listen what I'm saying. To
yeah.
your point, the Satanic Temple could have been over here, let's say in Memphis, Tennessee, doing a
Mm-hmm.
ritual, right?
Right.
That doesn't mean the Satanic Temple members went over there in that house and did that.
Right.
It could very well be that whoever did it was moved in the spirit realm to do it by
Oh,
the ritual,
absolutely.
but
Absolutely.
not necessarily Satanic Temple members
Yeah,
because
and the reason I said that is because I don't want people listening to this to be like, "Oh, they're saying Hunter went to the Satanic Temple. They're saying Brian went to Satanic Temple," because that's not what we're saying. That's not what you're
it's
saying.
possible though, and
It's
I'm gonna
possible.
get to that too.
Okay,
I'm
I'll
gonna
be
get to
quiet.
that too. It's
I'll be quiet.
possible. I'm not making that statement, but I should say it because 4 people died. 4
Yes.
kids, not 1. I can even go for 2. You got excited. But 4 could have
Yeah.
been 6. If that's not demonic or demonology, what is demonology?
It is.
And look at the way,
It's all
they were murdered.
evil. Evil.
That is nothing. There's no other way to. It's no use in sugarcoating it so that you don't want to offend certain parties. Because if you, and I'm not saying you personally, I'm saying people, because people are going to satanic church more, like you said, than Christian people. John Ramirez schooled me.
Me
So,
too.
and they say teachers and cops and school principals are almost in the majority in some of these congregations.
Yeah.
So the law enforcement, that's going to be a whole nother live just to even talk about law enforcement involvement.
Oh, yeah, they're in it. Oh, yeah.
Because remember, it said fathers and it said, males, and it, to say that these are working people, professionals, it came up professionals.
Judges,
So,
lawyers.
right.
Yeah.
So let's say I go and I set my air conditioner or I set my heater to 80 degrees on the wall and it's 50 degrees in my house. But it's when I walk away from the wall, from the temperature gauge, it's not going to instantly be 80 degrees. Right. It's going to take time for that hot air to circulate and change the atmosphere. It's the same thing when you pray and you chant and you do rituals. It's not microwave. It takes a minute for everything to spread out in the spirit realm. They go for the Holy Spirit and for satanic ritual. It takes time for it to spread out and start working in the spirit realm. And so once the ritual was done, it could have been done in February. And then they start planning it, and all these things fell into place. And then, all of a sudden, because my problem with Bryan Kohberger has always been that I don't know where this man was. We don't have his phone records for this time.
No alibi. Yeah.
No alibi. And his demeanor in court, to me, and here comes some more Rotten Tomatoes, the vibe I get from all these numbers is that he did say, was anybody else arrested? Because it was a house full of people.
I just said that to Robin before we got on. I'm like, dang, I bet he did say it.
He did say it. And I wouldn't be surprised if we take a plea bargain, because I'm going to tell you something. Bryan Kohberger, if the prosecution was struggling, okay, they done already set some stuff up. When they saw they didn't have to jump off into this, when they showed they didn't have to jump, they didn't have to have all their ducks in a row on October the 2nd, right? When they saw they had time, they came in and they started working some stuff. They just ignored Ann Taylor. And they didn't have to ignore much because Ann Taylor ain't been doing nothing.
And now we know why. If she knows he did it,
IgG.
Yeah, if she believes he did it, then there's no reason for her to do anything.
Exactly. She's been sitting on her duff, laughing and smiling, collecting a check. She hasn't made not one offensive move, a new one, since she was talking about Bethany. And that was just a wild card, because Bethany ain't came up in none of these numbers. I looked up her. Look, I'm a backtrack on that.
Yeah, they weren't there.
I haven't looked up DM and BF's birthdays, but I am gonna do it, and I'll bring that up in the next live or whatever. But all of these say masculine. Let me show y'all an example.
Oh no, I finally agreed tonight. I can say they weren't there. I didn't know.
They weren't there. All of these say, I'm gonna show you. It says masculine. It says men did this. I'm gonna show some proof. I don't care if there's 5 people in here. I'm telling this right here. I know this concordance not gonna lie.
Oh no, it's I mean, numbers are biblical. Numbers run the world. You know,
That's right.
it's only wrong to get into that if you're doing it for evil purposes. That's
All right.
you know, it's a tool.
Okay, you see here. It's better if you see for yourself. All right, let me try to blow it up some. This is the actual concordance. I'm not making this stuff up. And some people not gonna see it, and some people don't want to see it because they made up their mind. Brian didn't do this. You don't know what Brian did. You don't
Nobody
know
knows
what
Brian.
you don't know what anybody has done unless you were there. Because you can't tell me what somebody won't do. People will say your. Let me tell you something. When a person, it's only 3 sins in the world: lust of the eyes, lust of the flesh, and pride of life. Every crime had to be the motive has to be at least one of these. It might be all of them. It might be 2 of them, but it's got to be at least one of them. Those are only sin.
Well,
Those
my
are only
question
way to
then,
sin.
what would be the reason for the other people to take part in it? That's what I'm wondering now.
This is the connection. Remember when I was saying how the temple could be in Memphis doing the
Mm-hmm.
ritual, and
Yeah.
you got people all over the country, all over the world, stirred up towards Moscow. People that worship in that way, they stirred up. Just like right now, if I pray for a certain move in the church, people all over the world that prayer applies to gonna start getting stirred up. Don't make me prove it.
No, I hear you.
So
I think
so
for
when
go ahead.
okay, look at this
Go
at the
ahead.
top of the screen. I'm gonna just show
Mm-hmm.
one right quick because I'm not gonna waste time. I might close out early because I know what I see. Look at you see 1122 up there, right?
Yep.
Now it says a clerk, scribe, public servant, secretary.
Mm.
A secretary is an assistant.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you look up 1230, that's the word assistant actually comes up. This is where Brian comes in. I don't know how I'm sure of it, but I'm
I
sure
see
of it.
it. But going back to the public servant, do you think one of the cops could be in it, like
I looked at
Rosie?
that. And then also professional. It up there
Yeah.
where it says writer, scribe, it says professionally. I thought
Mm-hmm.
about law enforcement because remember all of these, I want you to see where it says male. Because it tells you, the Hebrew concordance tells you, part of speech, noun, masculine. It's a man.
So do you think Rosie could have been one of them? Or I mean,
Yes. It
yes.
was it was several people in the house. And when you think about it, they're not gonna plan a ritual. They're not gonna plan a ritual this large without people probably from different states coming. Ain't no telling how many people was in that house, but it was a
Right.
lot of them. And they probably was from all different walks of life, if not to participate, but to observe, to record. Somebody
Yep.
said it
Yep.
was a camera in the woods
Mm-hmm.
recording somebody running out at 2 something in the morning. I
Is it
believe that.
is it true that Rosie quit right after this happened? I don't
I don't
remember.
know.
Somebody
You
did.
well, I heard that he was laid off, but I
Uh
didn't investigate that. I can't really say for sure. Um, I can't really say for sure. And a lot of people that have Koberger is innocent, release him. They're not gonna want to hear this. Okay,
no.
they're not gonna want to hear this, but I don't care.
Well, I think one of the
They
main
don't. They
reasons
don't want to
people
hear stuff that we can prove
I
outside of this.
I think one of the reasons people don't want to accept that is because there has been so much secrecy and there's been so many lies that the media and the police have told that just makes it look like, they're railroading
No,
him.
no, no. That's not it. That's not it. People are quick to believe a lie. All right.
Yeah.
I could be sitting here on a Saturday night, and I can have the keys to the kingdom, and somebody else could be over there telling some exciting lies about the same thing, and everybody will be over there. But they'll claim that they're lovers of the truth. You can't be a lover of the truth and a lover of lies at the same time. Because the
Hmm.
Bible says blessings and cursings shouldn't come out of the same mouth, shouldn't come out of the same, source. You can't you can't curse and then turn around and say you a lover of the truth. I
Yeah.
know that's rough. I've cursed. probably will again. But I'm talking about that's your that's your official language in your house. If the official language in your house is MFBA, MF, you know, that's the official language. If y'all talk hard like that all day long to each other, for some people that is the official language in the household. That's why I just stopped cursing.
Well, I have to say to anybody who is having a hard time believing this, that's your prerogative. But I will tell you, I was the biggest supporter of Brian. I said I would give my house, bet my Mustang, I would, everything. And I've been telling my husband for a year, defending Brian, defending Brian. I mean, and I always said I would pass out if I thought he was guilty. Well, now I think he's guilty. You know what? It's heartbreaking, but I'll get over it.
Yeah, I can't say to what degree, but
Right.
I
He was
know
involved.
he was not over there being a peeping Tom. He probably got over there around 3:10 or 3:05. If he left Pullman and came straight to Moscow, he probably left at about, he probably got there at about 3 o'clock, between 3 and 3:15. By then, Kelly and Maddie were at home, I would assume, or they might have been out in the street and caught a ride home with him for all we know. All I'm saying is he didn't get over there until after 3 or right at 3.
I have a thought, and this may be crazy, but you know how we all believe it happened around 3. Um, did you know that 3 o'clock in the morning is considered? You know how they call the witching hour because
Yes.
that's when the witches do all their prayers. Is at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, you talking now.
Yeah,
You
that's
talking now
that came
because
to me yesterday in the members only chat, but I was like, nah, that's a lot for me to type in, so I'll just leave it.
okay, you just helping crack the case. Look here. In folklore, the witching hour of devil's hour or devil's hour is a time of night that is associated with supernatural events whereby witches, demons, and ghosts are thought to appear and be at their most powerful. Definitions vary and include the hour immediately after midnight and the time between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. Get out of
Yep.
here. Get
Yep.
out of here. That was the time. That was the time. And he left his house at what? 2:45.
Takes 10 minutes to get there.
He left his house at 2:45. I'm telling you, I see it. I see it.
Oh,
And
I see it.
and you know what? All the people that don't want to hear it or whatever, that want to stick to Brian to the end, their little heart's gonna be crushed if you take a plea deal. Because they say a plea deal is still on the table. And the way he laughing and skinning and grinning and smiling and yawning in court, he might just take a plea deal. If we get closer to the trial and he sees that he doesn't have a defense lined up when they go in that little conference room and talk and stuff, he knows whether or not he has a case or not. He's a criminology major. And if he don't feel like the defense has a case strong enough to get him out of there, he'll take a plea deal.
But see, anybody looking at it from not the spiritual side will say what we've been saying all along. The PCA is not enough. It's not evidence. The grand jury was ridiculous. He should have had a preliminary trial. He had a right to that, and it was taken from him. So anybody that doesn't see it on the spiritual side of things is going to point to that, and
All
say
right,
doesn't make sense. So I mean,
let me tell you something. And this is my understanding of how the Lord works. Okay. Nobody knows his thoughts. I'm not claiming to be a psychic. I'm not claiming to say what God does and doesn't do from minute to minute because we all know. I'm speaking from my experience walking with the Lord. I don't want to say how many years because then you know how old I am.
Girl, you're 29.
There you go. Let's leave it at that. Bam. So I'm saying for a long time, and I'm telling you, number one, when you try to be slick and do stuff, it's going to come out anyway. And a lot of times he'll shut doors to stop things from happening that he doesn't want to happen. He allowed the house to be torn down.
Yeah.
They couldn't have tore the house down if the Lord didn't allow it.
Right.
And so when you start seeing demolition, the Lord, to me, is mad with somebody. He wouldn't allow that to be torn down. If Brian deserved the probable cause hearing, That grand jury couldn't have overrode that. We would have
Yeah.
still got a probable cause hearing. Let me prove it to you.
Okay.
Let me prove to you that this is not going in his favor for a reason. And this is not a reason why so many people are, this is why a lot of people are saying he's not getting fairness and stuff. Hey, hold on.
I mean, it looks that way to everybody.
It is that way for a reason. I just say, I was like,
Yep.
Lord, I know I ain't the only person praying for Bryan Kohberger.
I've been praying for that man for a whole
and I'm like,
year.
I know when I pray, I at least see a glimpse of what I prayed for. It might not be the whole thing all at once, but I at least see things moving in that direction, like the heater on the wall. I haven't even seen it moving in that direction. And
No.
I'm not the only one praying for him. Okay? Now, hold on. I'm going to give you proof.
I've been praying for a year that if he didn't do it, that he gets off. And that's been my prayer.
Yeah. That's everybody's prayer. And he ain't going nowhere. Listen, look at this right here. I mean, you got to study the word. You go to Sunday school and Bible study and go to church 3 times a week enough, hearing this stuff. It's in you. And it comes to you when you're looking at stuff like this. It comes to you when it applies. Yep. Now look at Proverbs 21:1-3. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. He does whatever he wants to do when he wants to do it. Every way of a man is right in his own eyes, but the Lord pondereth the hearts. To do justice and judgment is more acceptable to the Lord than what? Sacrifice. Get out. You can't tell me. Judge is not running this. The Lord is running this. He allowed the grand jury to shut that probable cause down. He allowed them to tear that house down. He allowed these things. It's not the prosecution did it or whatever. If he didn't want that, if everything, they're getting away with the DNA. They're getting away with the DNA.
Yeah.
This verse say to do justice and judgment. The only way that DNA, a fake DNA, would walk is if he is involved. And so he let it walk, even though it's,
and it's fake.
I don't believe there was any DNA on that sheet.
No, me neither.
I don't believe there was a drop of it on there. I believe they put it on there. But
there wasn't enough to go into CODIS. There definitely wasn't enough to test.
Right.
If it was,
they didn't have enough. Whatever they pulled off them, it wasn't enough anyway. They didn't do that right. Because if they did it right, they would have had a full sample. Bryan Kohberger had an office at WSU. He had an apartment. He had his car. They could have gotten his DNA at any time. So why did they only have a partial sample? It probably wasn't even his DNA. If it was any DNA at all, it was all a lie. Nobody ran any tests. But the reason why they keep pasting in that they've given all the IgG discovery they have is because they have. There's nothing else to give there. It's not there. There was no DNA on that sheet. That's something they put together. The reason that it's walking is because this is not going in Bryan's favor. Because if it was the anointed, look, I'm going to bring another one to you. I hate to do this, but it's this I know what I'm talking about.
I'm not looking in chat. How's it going?
I'm not looking in the chat. I'm coming, y'all. I'm gonna give you the floor.
Yeah, I'm not gonna stay up here the whole time because I know other people want to interact with you. But
hold on, let me share my. Is this the screen I'm on? I know what I'm saying. And people that don't believe in God, that's pretending like they believe in God, don't want to hear it. And that's fine. But the word is going to stand. Heaven and earth will pass away, but the word is going to stand.
The word will always be. I read something today, and I'm embarrassed to say, was it First Timothy or First Thessalonians 2, 3, and 4 says, let no man deceive you.
God is not mocked.
Yeah, I was listening to that today because some
Whatsoever
other
you
things.
sow, you're going to reap.
Yeah, don't
Look
let
at
anybody tickle
Isaiah.
your ears.
This is how I know. Look at Isaiah 10:27. And it shall come to pass in that day that his burden shall be taken away from off thy shoulder, and his yoke from off thy neck, and the yoke shall be destroyed because of the anointing. If Brian Kohlberger had nothing to do with this, it would be
Hmm.
impossible for him to just sit there, be falsely accused. It said the anointing destroys the yoke. And if being accused of quadruple murder, you know, something should be poking out, screaming his innocence. I ain't heard from the Innocence Project. Let me tell you something. I predicted this, and I don't even know where to start to find the video. But I told y'all in the first 2 or 3 months, I said, this how you gonna know that whether Brian Kohlberger is guilty or innocent. I believe I said this in February. And I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna dig it out and I'm gonna put it out there for you because I already know where this is going. And don't let me forget to go back to the court case because that's the point I really wanted to make.
Okay.
All right. I just forgot what I was talking about.
Oh, you were stuck with Isaiah. You were in
Oh,
Isaiah.
okay. Hold on. I was hearing something else. Okay, this is what I was saying. I told y'all 2 months into this case, or even less. I said, this how you're gonna know whether Brian Kohlberger, I said it in the comments of this video. This how you're gonna know whether he's guilty or innocent. If he's innocent, a high profile attorney like Mark Garagos or
Gyarados,
somebody
yeah.
is gonna step in and take the case. If none of them come and take the case from the public defender, he did it. I told y'all that
You
in
did.
February.
You did.
I told y'all that in February. And even though Mark Garagos have been commenting on this case and saying, he's been saying that it's a lot of holes in it and blah, 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 he has not stepped in and taken the case from Ann Taylor. None of them. This is a gold mine of a case, and none of the high-powered attorneys are taking it. Because number one, they understand that 4 kids died. Whoever did it need to be prosecuted. This is not a game of who's the best attorney. Anybody with a heart, anybody with any kind of decency want to see some justice.
Yeah, at the end of the day, yeah, I'm disappointed, but it's more about who, getting justice for those 4 people. We have to remember that before Brian was a so-called victim, they were the victims.
We haven't heard from Innocence Project.
Uh-uh.
If the anointing was on Brian, and the anointing is really based on truth, it's no anointing on a lie. So if it was on him in this case, and he was just chosen to be crucified like this, and he's innocent, somebody gonna cry out for his innocence publicly. I'm talking about somebody significant, not YouTubers, not us. I'm talking about somebody with some weight. The only thing that came out that made me feel like here's somebody that's on Brian's side, maybe this is the Lord helping him out, is when Howard Bloom came out and told us the DNA was bogus in so many words.
And a lot of it is bogus.
But from the perspective of what I see,
yeah,
it is bogus, but that doesn't change what I'm saying.
Yep. No, I agree. There are still a lot of lies being told, like about Bethany and Dylan being there and all this crap. Still a lot of lies being told to get their man, but if it's their man.
Okay. The conclusions that I have made here, I'm not backing off of it. I'm not backing off of it because I know what I see. And this is, the concordance is not going to lie.
No, it's for real.
And I see Brian all over these numbers. And maybe I want to give him the benefit of the doubt because it's not a crime to like a girl or see some girl and want to follow around. Guys do that. There's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes guys do that, but they never even end up approaching a girl. They just like her, That's not against the law. But the problems I got with Brian is the same ones I had before these numbers. Number one, when he left his apartment, got in his car, drove down the street a little bit, and then turned his phone off. To me, that's a problem.
That is a problem, yeah. I think most of us were willing to kind of give him a pass on that and say, well, we don't really know if the police are telling the truth or not about that, you know. But I mean,
No,
it is what
no.
it is. And you know
Now,
how he went to the grocery store afterward? I think that could have just been to make him, you know, be like, hey, I'm just here grocery shopping, you know, I'm doing something innocent. I still want to know about that doctor's appointment he went to supposedly the next day.
I thought about that too. I thought about that too. Now, let me give you my opinion, but first, let's go back to the last thing you said. All right.
Okay.
I'm trying to keep up with all my thoughts because all this
I
thing
know it's a
rushing at
lot.
me.
And
And
I'm throwing thoughts at you too.
okay,
So,
here it is. Remember, we were saying law enforcement, right?
yeah.
I'm gonna tell you another reason why Brian better take a plea deal while he can, because if he don't, they're gonna put him under the ground. If okay, think about ritual. Think about law. Let's say it was 10 men in the house doing this. Okay, let's say one of them was law enforcement, just one of them. If Brian was there, right?
Yeah.
One of them got to go down. And Brian can't tell on the cop without telling on himself.
True.
So if Brian was there, he got to go down.
Yeah.
That's why they so sure he's involved.
Yeah.
Because
Dang it.
one of the people in the house was a cop. That's how they know it was him. But they can't tell us that.
Exactly.
Y'all, I'm trying to tell you.
That's clicking. No wonder they had his name before, and it probably didn't have his DNA, but they forced it. Oh yeah.
They pulled him over. We ain't seen the body cam, but they claim they pulled him over. That's how they know he was there, because there was a policeman there doing it too.
Yep, that makes a lot of sense.
That's why they so confident. And I'm gonna tell all y'all Brian Kohlberger lovers what's coming next. And if I'm wrong, I'll come to you and say, hey, I need to give up on numerology. I'm never gonna look at numbers in nowhere again. I told y'all wrong. I'll do that. But from what I see happening now, for real, in the news, lines up with this. Because the reason they tore that house down and the reason they doing this, saying they got a court date now all of a sudden, preparing everybody for courtroom conduct and all that, is because they've been to put his behind down. They've been to wrap this up.
Yeah, I was wondering why all of a sudden they're talking about who can be in and out of the courtroom. I'm like, why are they talking about it? We don't even know when it's going to go to trial.
Yeah. That's why they're doing it, because they serious. That's why they're doing this courtroom thing, because he has to put that out. That's a technicality.
And maybe that's why there's so much sealed then that we don't know about in these court hearings. Like,
Robin, why don't you grab a link and come up here?
Please, Robin.
Robin and Cindy, Miss Cindy, won't y'all, let me put a link out here.
Hey, I'll step down. That way we don't have too many people talking over each other.
No, it's all right.
All right, I'll be quiet then.
If you want to jump off or whatever.
No, I don't want to talk too much. I feel like I've already taken up a lot of time.
You don't care about that, Liz.
No, this is good. I have to say,
you do not care about that.
Girl.
So, if you got something to do, just say that.
No, I don't have nothing to do. I'm here. I don't want to make anybody mad.
No, that's my job. Seem like I'm already public enemy number one on this case anyway.
No, you wasn't. No,
they don't fool with me. These Brian Kohlberger lovers don't fool with me. I don't know why. Up until now, I've been giving them the benefit of the doubt. I done gave that man the spotlight as far as grace, as far as saying maybe he didn't do it. They're gonna have to prove it to me. But I'm convinced.
No. From the videos, day one, you were giving him the benefit of the doubt. All you said was that he was yawning in court and people flew off the handle and left.
You know, Robin.
Come on, Robin.
Come on, Robin.
Robin's gonna say, I told you so.
Miss Cindy, where you at? Miss Cindy, where you at? Anybody?
Hey,
Anybody want the stage? Just line up.
Cindy's gonna Cindy's gonna tell us where to stick it. Come on, Cindy.
Okay,
She's
let's
so
take
sweet.
Robin first, and
What's
then
up?
maybe
Okay,
we can get Miss Cindy or Kathy Jean or somebody to come up here. Come
I
on.
think everything you're saying tonight is like super important and amazing, but I don't understand. I still don't understand if I don't think this town could deal with a cop dirty to that point. I mean, if they knew about it, that would ruin that place, wouldn't it? I mean,
Well,
and that would come out either way. If BK goes down for it, he's going to say something because he has nothing to lose. But if it's not that, then what do they have on him that's so strong that they know they can convict him? Eyewitness?
that's
Because
yeah.
it has to be an
Yeah, there was a
eyewitness
cop
to
there.
something.
It was a cop there.
Because
It was
there's too much crap. Too much crap happened. I don't care what anybody says. FBI, ISP, you could take them all down with this case because they're negligent, they're corrupt, they're whatever. But I mean, you could win this case you went on what we know now. I'd have to vote not guilty, and I'm in the camp that thinks he might have done it. But I couldn't vote him guilty today, and that tells me there's got to be something strong against him because Anne's not stupid. Why wouldn't she just go with it
right,
and take him for a ride when she had the chance, you know? She
But
could have
you
just
know,
ripped him to shreds, and obviously she didn't think she could do that. So there's a reason why.
right,
And what
right.
is it? You know what I mean?
I
That's
agree.
always bothered me that she has a PhD in law, okay? She's no dummy. So
Right,
she's
right,
tried hundreds of cases. And if she didn't think that she could take the ball and run with it before he waived his speedy trial, then
right.
something's wrong because I could have done it and I'm not a lawyer.
That's
I
what
could
I
have beat
said.
this case
That's an
before
excellent point.
that. So
That's an
I
excellent
don't,
point.
yeah, I don't know if I believe that law enforcement was there, but somebody was there or somebody saw him entering the house. Maybe that private
A
driver, I don't
cop.
know,
Oh, a cop.
or a cop
It
that
had
was
to
that
be a
white
cop.
car driving around, maybe. I
It's,
don't know.
But you
it
know
was
what
a
I think?
cop. It
I
was at
think
least one cop.
I think that if they do, I mean, come on, he's going to be found guilty regardless of weak
I
evidence.
think it'd be a hung jury at this point, unless they got something hard on him.
But do you think that if he is found guilty, that first of all they're going to put him in the ground quick, and second of all, do you think that they'd be like, why would you listen to him? That a cop was there. This man is guilty. He did it. You know, and they would just nobody would believe it.
Well, because he
Not
could
only
probably
that,
prove it.
not only that, he might not even know. Because if they went in with masks on, he might not know who all
Yeah,
was.
well, how would he know? How did he get that? I mean, why would there be a group of so many men together? Like
That's
he
what
doesn't
I'm
even
wondering.
know people.
Yeah.
A ritual.
How does he organize a group with a cop in it?
No, I
He
didn't
didn't-
say he. No, I didn't say he organized the group. No. I don't believe he organized the group at all. No, I don't believe that.
So whose idea was it,
Who
and why?
whoever.
I mean, cops can't be that pissed off just because they have a lot of noise complaints.
I don't believe the whole crowd was policemen. I believe there was.
No, I know that.
I believe Brian and the policemen were just two of maybe even 10 people.
But what's the point of going in? Who thought of this? Why? I mean, what's the point?
A ritual. They were there to conduct the ritual. For all we know, BK could be part of one of these satanic temples.
But BK's into the education of criminology. I mean, as far as we know, I mean, maybe as a side thing for ritualistic behavior, but it's not something that comes up with him yet, that is even something he thinks about. I mean, he spent 10 years now in college.
All right.
I
Look
want to know
at-
how they
What?
all got together. Yeah.
Look,
That's what I'm saying.
look, this thing here is from the FBI at Quantico. And this is about satanic rituals and violence, crime. And here's in the historical overview, they list teenage stoner gangs and their symbols. And I read some of this article, I think in the members only live. He's telling you that it's. I had another one. I got
Oh my
too
God.
many tabs open.
What if they're all Odinists, like in Delphi?
I'm just saying, it's people from all. I'm gonna have to bring that man here. I'm gonna have to try to get that man here.
Please do, because he's
Because
yeah.
if you listen to John Ramirez, an ex-Satanist,
Mhm.
tell you how common how these people just walking around, blending in. They don't
Right.
announce that they part of none of these places. They don't want to be out front. They don't want you to know that they dabbling in the occult. They don't. I mean,
But
to
I
them,
mean, all these kids that have been taken out seem like they're outside when it happens. I can't see a cult like that entering a home
I can.
with.
Oh yeah, they do.
I just
Yeah,
don't.
they do.
I
Oh,
never heard of that before.
Not
No,
only
they
that,
do.
I believe they were
Besides
already
Charles
there.
Manson.
I believe
they
they
do.
were already there. And then
Well-
you just proved what my point about the air conditioner and the heater. What did you just say?
Who?
You?
Me? I didn't say
Yeah.
anything about the air conditioner.
No,
I
you were
did.
saying it's done outside. You saying that you think they're all done outside. That's not true at all.
Okay.
Oh no, but I mean, I guess
No,
I don't hear about a lot of them. But
Uh-uh.
the only
after
ones I've heard of are outside.
After that. What do you say after that?
I don't know what she's saying.
I don't see everybody coming into a house.
It was something you just said. And
I don't.
oh, let me think.
I don't remember.
I say it seems like all the ones I've known of are that people are outside. I just
Okay.
don't see anybody coming into a house to do all that. I mean, like, how they pick that house and why?
Yeah, I do. Let's go back to the beginning because I understand what you're asking. And a lot of people probably won't agree with me about this, but I believe that the abortion ban is at the root of all of this. Okay? Even in the FBI paper here that I'm showing, he mentions abortion. And people don't realize what a big deal. That's why the Satanic Temple was trying to do rituals to stop the Supreme Court, the Idaho Supreme Court, from issuing the ban. That's what they've been raising hell about this for a while.
Oh,
And this
abortion
is
is huge to them. Baby sacrifice, huge.
not just them. It's a lot of people on Satanic Temple side on the abortion issue. All right, it's a lot of them, and they might not say it, but a lot of women and men believe a woman should be able to get an abortion. But I mean, people that do rituals, they would probably be.
Okay, well, if we're talking about that, I want to know, when did Christy have her baby?
I don't know. Let me write that down.
Because she just had another baby.
Ain't no telling.
And I'm like, wow, that's fast.
Yeah,
That
maybe
was
the
weird.
first baby was Kaylee's.
She named her
But
Katie
that's
Mae.
what I'm trying to figure out. Because I go, she had another baby? How come the G's haven't even mentioned that?
Oh,
That they had a second grandchild for one. And number two, isn't that fast that she had another baby?
Super fast.
Wasn't that only like 9? I don't even know if it was 9 months ago.
I think she had 2 babies all in 2023.
No, she had her first baby.
Right.
Well, in this
Yeah, like
case,
in-
she had her first baby
Like
after
in
this case
January.
happened.
Yeah,
And then she had a second baby, I guess, a couple weeks ago.
that's what I'm saying. They were both
If
in
that, so like,
2023.
what?
Like,
When I heard that, I was like, what the heck?
Maybe one of those babies is Kaylee's. Cause I told
That's
y'all.
That's what I'm trying to figure out, how that can be tied, like, with abortion or whatever. I don't know.
do you
So
remember
that's what I'm trying to think about.
her
Yeah.
daughter she had like in January? So yeah, it was like 2 babies, like in January, and then like in December, I think she had the second one.
Yeah,
Her
you
first
can't have
daughter-
2 babies in the same year.
She did.
I'm saying you
Yeah.
know that's not right.
No, but
That's
the first
ridiculous.
daughter, I don't remember what her first name was, but her second name,
Her
her
name
middle
is
name is
Maddie
Maddie
Joe.
K.
I'm
Maddie
gonna tell
K.
y'all
Maddie K
something.
is the first baby.
I'm gonna tell y'all something real bad.
Oh.
Y'all ain't gonna want to hear this.
That's the first baby. And the second baby was just born
What's the
like
second
real
baby's name?
recently.
What's the second baby's
I have
name?
no idea.
Tell me. All right, tell us, Miss Joy. What are we going to lose our minds about?
No, that's what I'm trying to figure out though, how much time it was between them.
I'm
It
gonna
was
Because
like
maybe
9 or 10 months.
Haley was pregnant. Who knows?
It was 9 or 10
okay.
months, they say.
Let's go back to this card, and I'm gonna ask y'all something. Let's say Kaylee was pregnant, and let's say that one of those babies is Kaylee's. Who do
Y'all
you
freaking
think
me
the
out.
father is for Kaylee to be somewhere under the ground? You know,
Hunter
and
Johnson.
Remember, the numbers are saying that the people
Rosie.
involved here are fathers.
Rosenthal, the one who took her ID, took a picture.
Oh,
Fathers. The numbers say fathers.
Oh, you're thinking about her dad?
I didn't say that. You did.
I asked.
no. I'm
not going there.
No.
I'm not going with that.
I don't see that at all.
My mind won't take
I
me
could
there.
see a cop being a father.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't ready for that.
I was not. I ain't
Nah.
going there.
Those people are weird, but they're not that weird. No way.
Well, if having two babies in 1 year ain't weird enough for you.
Well, yeah, but I think Kaylee could have got pregnant by somebody else, like Hunter Johnson. I always thought her and Hunter Johnson were having a fling because he's there all the time
with the zip ties on.
First of all, didn't they say Hunter Johnson was gay?
That's who knows? They just made fun of him because he wore a necklace.
Maybe whatever. That was a symbolic thing for whatever they do. Plus, he had a girlfriend.
Because the numbers are saying a masculine father.
Okay, serious question.
Maybe he was the president of their university. Maybe it was Scott. Maybe it was Enon.
Me and Robin and Javino is going to be the only ones left if you keep on.
I know. Everybody's left chat now that we said we were going to have BK guilty.
Robin! Numbers say masculine father.
Okay, well, I don't think that means that everybody that participated had to be a father.
No.
I mean, if it was Hunter Johnson, he's a father when she got pregnant.
Exactly.
Hello.
If she was pregnant though, I don't think she'd be out drinking like that.
Who?
Kaylee.
I don't know, maybe she wasn't drinking. Maddie was the one that was wasted.
Maddie was the one.
Maddie
was the one.
But by the time she was at the corner club, she wouldn't have been pregnant no more. This would have already.
Oh, right.
Or
maybe that's why she went home for a minute.
Right. She went home. So
right.
Then when she came back, because that family got a lot of secrets.
This is confusing. I wanted to ask you, because everybody was pointing at, I have to ask a question. Everybody was pointing at Hoodie Guy, Showalter. Do you think he zipped out of town because he knew some crap went down and he didn't want to be involved in it?
Yes, because
he knew that Adam was told something.
Yeah.
Listen.
What was told to Adam? That's what I want to know. Because Kaylee didn't get pissed off. I mean, that's how good of friends they were. She was like, "What'd you tell him? Like, you idiot." But then, boom, 5 minutes later, they're fine again. So it didn't seem to be that big of a deal, but I don't know.
What, and you know what? Just the way Steve G really downplayed that and said, "Oh, they didn't mean anything by it."
Right.
And
Hunter said, "Well, they're going to get you for this, Maddie." So who's they and what were they going to? Why were they going to do something? It was obviously something. It wasn't just about Jack or whatever because of what Hunter said.
And
he seemed serious about it.
Drugs down the toilet. I don't believe any of that. I never believed that.
No, but
I didn't, I
something
didn't see
happened.
anything. I didn't see anything about drugs in these numbers. I
No,
saw
but
pride.
Maddie said something to Adam about something.
I saw
That, and I
pride.
always thought it was about Jack D because the way Kaylee asked her. But then for Jack to say,
They're
hey,
gonna get you.
they're going to get you for this, what the hell does that mean?
Miss Cindy, are you gonna come on the stage or not? Are you coming up here with us? I'm gonna put the link out, Miss
She's
Cindy.
still
And,
gonna be our friend, I hope.
I left you a voicemail. You didn't even call me back.
She said her
You know
voicemail
me,
was
I
on
thought it
her.
was the DoorDash driver that's the key to the whole case. And I'm not budging.
Well, I believe that they had a lookout. For some on this scale, they had to have a lookout. But
I think it was that squirrely dude that drove them home.
this is what I was getting at. I was just getting ready to say this. We need more information because
Yeah.
there's no evidence that somebody drove Kaylee and Maddie home.
Right.
There is none. There's no
I
evidence
know that's true.
that's claiming this.
But you know what? I did see that white truck go by as if he were
Yeah.
looking for somebody. And then he
Yeah.
backed out of that space. So I figured that was their driver because he wasn't really sure where they were. And he parked down beyond the guard truck, and then he backed out, and then he turned around. And that's about when they left, when they got their food, was about 3 or 4 minutes after that. So I figured it was the guy in the white truck that picked him up.
That's
Right.
a good point because that white truck was everywhere around that area.
Well, and it pulled into a parking spot
Yes, it
while they
did.
were at the grub truck. And
Yep.
everybody said, well, what's that white truck doing? Is it following the kids or whatever? And then he backed out of that spot and turned around and came back. And I said, well, that must have been their ride because this Eric guy drives the right truck too.
Right.
So
You know,
I
he's tied up
figured,
right now, Miss Cindy.
I don't know. I figured that was him.
Hmm? No, Miss Cindy was saying she missed the Vino. I miss him too, Miss Cindy. But he's
He's
tied
in
up
there?
right now. He's tied up.
Also,
Oh, he
he
seems like
called in tips about Brian's car. So he's got to be the Eric that stayed at Pullman campus, 1,200 feet from Brian, because that's the only way he would have noticed his car.
you're right,
Yes,
Robin.
You can
You're
turn
right.
I can turn the camera off on you, Miss Cindy, and you can get up here like that. You don't have to have your you
Well,
don't
you
have to have
turn-
your camera on.
Will you turn the camera off mine so I can look at chat because I've been hiding my whole everything. I got my phone like face down.
You just have to push the camera off when you come in.
Oh, well, too late.
You ain't gonna see me.
I'm
There's
in my
me with my
nightgown.
blue hair.
It's off. Yours is
Okay.
off, Les.
Okay, I'm in my
Oh
nightgown.
no, it's not. No, it's not.
Look at my hand. Hi.
My partner's in her nightgown.
Mhm.
Let
They
me
are
see.
gonna
Oh,
get
I'm gonna
you
turn off. Okay, it's off.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, gone. Yeah.
Now I can look at chat. All right.
Oh, your voicemail is broken.
Yeah, when
Okay.
somebody look at chat once in a while, that is what really bugs.
I said it like 3 times.
Okay,
You
well, you
won't.
need to get,
No, you
we
won't.
need to have a co-host that looks at chat so that we can keep up with it.
I'm always worried about the chat when I'm on there.
I know. So why don't you look at chat or something while you guys are talking?
I'm gonna look at chat. Y'all keep talking.
All right. I'm gonna go. Cindy, are you gonna hear?
No, don't go.
Miss Cindy, I
Yeah.
can turn the camera off. Yes.
Where is Cindy?
Okay, well, listen, after tonight, it's gonna be some tomatoes thrown, but I'm gonna
Ain't
wait
nobody
for
here. I think we lost almost everybody.
I got rotten eggs. I'm throwing. No, I'm just.
we got about 12 people left in here.
Okay, they're just not chatting. Okay.
Yeah,
Did nobody want to hear he's guilty? That's why.
yeah, they ain't chatting because they taking it in.
Or they think
Yeah.
we're doing some wild voodoo stuff and they don't understand.
Well, no, they know what time it is.
They don't want to hear that he's guilty, man. I'm telling you.
They don't
But
want to
you know, everybody. I think at this point I'd have to vote not guilty. Doesn't mean I don't think he might have been involved, because I
Right.
do.
I
But
would have to vote not guilty based on the evidence. I would be
Right.
feeling in my heart that he did it, but based on the evidence, I couldn't convict.
Yeah.
That's why I wouldn't even be a juror. Or if I was a juror, I'd tell them, listen, I think he did it, but I'm gonna vote not guilty because the
Well,
prosecution.
and
needs
I
to
think
go
if that
back.
DNA is out, if they rule that DNA out, he could walk. So that's what I'm saying. If she's not taking the offensive like she should, there's something wrong. Something is wrong. Somebody saw him.
Yeah,
Somebody got him on film.
But
Something's
he,
wrong because otherwise she
I
could have
think you're
run with
right.
this.
I think you're
Yeah,
right. It's the driver. Yep.
she could have won it already. She could have won this case already, but something
Yep.
happened.
But
yeah,
it just makes sense. We've been wondering what is she doing, just sitting on her rear end and not making a stink about it.
Because there's got to be something big that she can't get past.
Yeah.
well, I think that Ann Taylor knows what time it is, and I believe that one of the people in that house doing this ghastly crime, at least one was law enforcement. I believe that's why we did not get. I believe that's why we did not get the 911 call until 12 o'clock.
I don't
And I
get that
believe
part.
and I believe that this is why they said unconscious person. Why it was so tailored, and they didn't just say what they saw because they were being coached.
Why? I was gonna, yeah, that, but why can't we hear the 911 call?
It might not even been no 911 call. It was a policeman already there.
Mm.
It was a
Well, I think they
policeman.
said unconscious person because whoever called was having a rough time with the call because of what happened. And finally, they just decided to make it unconscious person, which is what they do if the person's frantic that calls or if the person passes out when they call or whatever. They will just put that name on it to get it going and get police and EMS out there because they don't really understand what the caller's saying.
Or maybe
Yeah.
they
So
said
they'll just,
dead person and they were like, oh, unconscious person. Just
no, it's unconscious person means we can't really tell what the caller's saying, but we know there's something wrong, so get the people out there.
yeah.
So they just list it as that, like that's the go-to to list it when they can't get out of the person what they're saying, or maybe they were crying or they were whatever.
Yeah.
So then in order to get the call going quickly, they just say unconscious person, go,
So do you
See what
think
it
all
is.
law enforcement, including backseat Bill, knows that there was a cop involved? I truly believe there was a cop involved,
Yes.
1,000,000%.
Yes,
Yeah.
I believe there was at least one in there with the group, and he saw Brian. That's the only explanation for them being so convinced that this man did it, even though they can't come up with the evidence that
Maybe it was a cop from WSU.
they said they're telling us that the cops is the ones that found him, and there's some truth to that. But they didn't find his car in the parking lot. They saw him there. They probably was shocked that he was there. He probably was there for his own devilment and ran into a real murder. I mean, this guy is just too many things. It's too many things that he can't.
I don't know, I'm still thinking about Brent Kopaka too.
Yeah, he
Maybe
could have
he
been
was
there.
there too.
He
Yeah.
could have been there.
And he saw a
I
cop.
thought about that too. I said, I wonder if Brent was there.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
I believe he was.
and that's even more evidence that a
See,
policeman.
that's just
was.
weird.
That's even
No,
more
I
evidence
believe he
that
was there.
that
Yeah,
was that would be if he was there. That's even more evidence that at least one policeman was there because of how he died. And the only
Right.
reason why somebody would take him out like that is if he was there.
And supposedly
Exactly.
he was saying, I know who killed him. Or I know that was just a rumor, but maybe he did threaten.
Yeah, or maybe him and Brian were friends, and Brian told him he did it.
There wasn't even no furniture in that apartment that they shot him in.
That's
what
a
now?
whole nother rabbit hole. Yeah, that was weird.
Say that
It
again.
was an empty apartment.
Yeah, it was.
That's
He wasn't there
weird,
with
man.
roommates. He wasn't there with roommates. Miss
They
Joy.
weren't even his roommates. They weren't even connected.
They
Yeah.
said
That's weird.
that Kopaka had two 21-year-old roommates.
No, but if you see the body cam that Lana had on like two
Yeah,
lives back to back, it shows
it was
everything
crazy.
that really happened, and it's
Yeah, it's
nothing like what
crazy.
was reported.
I
Nothing.
didn't
Nothing
hear
but.
I didn't hear what you said, Leslie.
Oh, I said Lana a couple of months ago had like a couple of lives back to back where it showed the body cam from inside and everything that happened, and it was nothing like what was reported. He was not living
Nothing.
there with two roommates. No, not
Right.
at all.
Wasn't even, yeah.
That was a whole lie.
It was a fiasco.
This
It was
is
it was
crazy.
a whole lie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
it
wasn't
was a
threatening
good one.
nobody, nothing like that.
Yeah.
I believe this where it's all started. I believe this is where it all started. I
Do
believe
you
they were
think
having a ritual for, abortion ban, and somewhere, somehow, it got people stirred up that worship that way. And they was on the road with it. That didn't just things, the laws of physics, energy is neither created nor destroyed. So that energy
You
came
think?
from somewhere.
Hey, Cindy's backstage, she said.
Where's Cindy?
She said she's
Okay, I'm
backstage.
backstage. I don't see you. I'm gonna put the link again because I don't see you down here. Let me put the
How
link
good?
again. Okay,
Hey,
there it is.
for the
How
longest
good?
time, I couldn't figure out the Kopaka and Koberger thing. But could that be why Brian Koberger hightailed it back home for the holidays? Didn't they tell the cop that pulled him over? Didn't his dad say, "Oh, we left WSU. Somebody got shot. There was SWAT. Somebody went
Right,
out and SWAT there."
right.
Brian was probably like, "Well, I'm next. I'm out of there." And that's just a guess.
Yeah. Well,
Who knows?
shout out to Terry Sleuth.
Terry Sleuth.
Hey, Hartruth,
Okay.
do you think that maybe his Reddit application where he was asking for people that were criminals or whatever maybe attracted some people from a cult
Okay. Now
to,
you preaching to the church. Now you
to
preaching.
answer the ad or whatever?
Okay. Now you preaching. You answer your own questions
That's
because
good.
Because I'm trying to find out the connection. How would he connect up with a group of people? He's an antisocial, awkward person.
Oh
You're not
snap!
going to just hook up with five guys.
you calling
You're
it
not
out,
going.
Robin. You
Spit it
calling it
out,
Yeah,
out.
Robin. Spit it
You
I'm
didn't
just
out.
even
trying
think
to.
of that. I know I didn't. But that survey,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that could have been the group of people.
Yep.
right.
Oh my
He
God, that was good, Robin.
he made some friends.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Let
Sorry,
me give
Drew.
you a brain for that,
No,
Cindy
Robin.
but
says. Cindy says
I
she's
got a
here.
brain.
Mm-hmm.
Woo!
Yeah,
I got a
You, sh-
brain.
you
yeah,
should
you
get two.
definitely got a brain for that.
I
I'm
think any
telling you.
ruler left. I think any ruler left us, man.
Okay, now listen, y'all.
Uh.
This is the bad part.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to end this live at 10:45.
That's 8 minutes from now.
I just
Right,
found out I got
okay, so
something.
lay the bomb on it. What is it?
I'm trying to make sure nobody drop a bomb on my house.
Oh my gosh.
Listen,
Why, where are
no,
you going at 10:45, Arthur?
okay, I don't start me the line now in the
Uh huh.
public.
Yeah, she has a date.
I
We know
can't
what's
tell a
up.
lie in the public.
You have
Okay,
a date?
She has a hot date.
not really a date, it's business.
Yeah, we know,
Uh-huh.
Robin. We know what it is. Wink, wink.
Yeah,
Hey,
we know what it is.
you should know.
10:45 at night ain't no business trip.
We know.
Yeah, it's business. You should know if it's me, it's business.
Yeah, we
Okay,
know.
well,
That's why your phone's
business
blowing
and
up right
pleasure
now.
can go together.
Oh boy.
That's why your
Listen.
phone's blowing up.
Listen. I started a new Miss
We'll know if we don't see a video tomorrow where you are.
Oh my God. Please look at the news tomorrow and make sure I don't make it in the
Yeah.
news. Because I'm telling you, we spilling the beans. But Brian met some friends
Yeah, he did.
through that survey. Birds of a feather flock together. If I sit in my house and chant and I got an altar set up to Satan and I walk out the door, I'm gonna end up gravitating to other people that do the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, and here's the thing, that was a long time ago, so it would give them time to plan something so big like this.
Right,
Yep.
because remember the address on the house and all that. None of that is a mistake or
Nope.
coincidence. This
Right.
had to take planning for them to find the house. 6 people in there. You know, I said that in a few videos back. I said, look, this house looks like a haunted house. You can make a snuff film in it. I said that in the snuff film series. It's 6
I mean,
people.
there has to be a connection to the neighbor. Somebody's got to know something because you don't just pick a house like, oh, let's pick that house. You have to investigate, know who's there, if it would be conducive to the crime you want to commit. I mean, somebody had a connection somewhere that knew those kids or something.
Well, Kathy Jean
Miss
is
Cindy
saying
made it to the stage. What?
Kathy Jean said that was from years ago in Pennsylvania when he made the survey.
It wasn't, yeah, it was, I know,
Well,
but
that's
who knows
just
how long it took him to get somebody to respond to it? I don't know.
Because didn't
He knew he was
Kopacko-
going to Washington already.
Isn't Kopacko
That's
from
Mocha
Pennsylvania
approving
too?
your date. I didn't tell y'all I had a date. I told you I had some business to take care of. It's
And you
We
always-
didn't say
don't make me
nothing.
lie. Oh,
We didn't say nothing.
I'm gonna say to I'm gonna get
I
off
said,
here.
Hardridge out his business trip. Why? None of your business anyway.
I don't think Mocha would let me have a date.
Yeah,
How
Terry wants to.
is Mocha?
Are you kidding me?
What's Mocha doing?
She'll be like, where did they come from? How you have time for them and me?
I want to babysit Mocha.
Oh, she's doing fine. She's playful. Always up to something.
Don't you want to come to Auntie Ruby's house?
Yeah, she's stubborn and spoiled. That's how Mocha's doing.
We need to see her more often, Hardridge.
I'm not exaggerating. I'm telling you.
She's growing. We need to see her every once in a while so we can see how big she's getting.
I tell you what, I'll put her on camera at the next members live.
Okay, good.
Hello and everything. Because
All right.
she's a sweetie, but I'm telling you, this dog is spoiled.
Mine too. Does your dog run the house? Because mine does.
Yes, already. I told
Yeah.
As
you.
it should be.
As
Be
it should
patient
be.
with Mocha. Mocha is doing whatever she wants to do.
Mhm.
You better give Mocha some respect.
Oh,
I
excuse
sure
me.
better. I don't have a choice. She barking now.
Yeah, give my girl some respect over there.
You tell her I love her.
Talking trash. Oh, what?
It's
She's so cute.
Hey Terry, you're gonna die. You need to go back from the very beginning when we get off here. Yeah.
Hey, Hardridge, I have a question. How come when we go to watch the live the next day, we can't see the chat?
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to check that out.
Because every station doesn't have the chat anymore on replay the next day. And I'm like, why did everybody stop doing that? Is there some weird thing that happened or something?
Right.
Well, remember,
Yeah.
Get a Clue found some of his subscribers on other people's chats, and he got mad and like banned
Yeah,
them.
so maybe people are hiding their chats now
Yeah.
Miss
so
Cindy,
that
are you
people
on the
don't get in
line?
trouble.
I
Miss
think
Cindy.
so.
Yeah. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. How are you guys?
All
Good.
Well,
right.
you can get a clue if you ask me. Because Hardridge is my number one.
We
That's
got
right.
time for Miss Cindy to give her take because I dumped a lot of information on you tonight, and I want you to go behind me so you can say, well, this is what I found, or this is my take, or whatever, and we can develop it. So I'm telling
I'm
you.
leaving.
I'm leaving too, Rob, but I'll catch you in Messenger. But I'm gonna
Okay.
stay in chat. Okay, bye.
I'm not being chat. Okay,
All
bye.
right. All right.
Oh,
All right,
I'm-
Miss Cindy, roll it.
My goodness, I don't have to be up here alone.
Okay, and I'll text you because I didn't know about the voicemail. So I'll text you. I have the
Right.
information. I actually just wanted to know what you wanted.
Okay. It's not operational. Hard
Okay.
truth. That's why, but it doesn't tell people it's not operational. And there's the problem.
All right. Miss Kathy, I'll
Okay.
see you. Thank you so much for coming. And good night to
Okay.
you. I was talking to Miss Kathy. She said hi to you also.
Oh,
Now, what do you say about all of this stuff?
Oh gosh. I kind of believe like Robin. Here's what I believe will be the outcome. I believe that he will be convicted.
Me too.
I believe there is one reason a high profile attorney would not want it. And I will tell you why. There's too much, a lot of emotion around this.
Right,
Would
right,
you
right.
really, would you really want to be the one to get him acquitted? I don't believe I would.
I wouldn't either. I wouldn't either. I mean, the way those kids died, and there's 4 of them. And I don't
Well,
believe.
and even if you thought he were innocent, I would not take it as a high profile. You could have a lot of hate on you and your family
Yeah,
because this is that kind of case.
right.
And I would run from it.
I would too, because they know
and
you can lie for somebody for some money.
and most of these high profile guys, they have enough money. I think they want to live out their life in relative peace.
Right. Because you make a good point. Because
Yeah.
think about all of the guilty people they've gotten off, these defense lawyers. They got to sleep with that. So ain't nobody get ready to stack Brian Koberger on top of all of that, and then gamble on whether they're gonna make it in the pearly gates. Ain't nobody doing that.
And hard truth, even if I felt he was sure in my heart he was innocent, especially if my mother was still living,
Right.
I would be terrified of possibly somebody harming me or my family because there's so much emotion
Right.
behind this
Right.
and passion behind. So that may be the reason there. Now,
I'm not sure what happened. I'm not sure what happened to Miss Cindy's thing, but listen, guys, I'm gonna have to go. We're gonna have to close this down right now. Hopefully, y'all will show up to the new members thing on Wednesday. We got 3 new members here. I'll probably give some memberships later on tonight. God bless you. Thank you so much, Les, Robin, Terry. Let me see who else we had up in here. Blue Aqua. We lost a lot of people. But that's all right. I expected that. I don't care. Annie Ruler. Dave T. from Boston Laborers Union said hi to Miss Cindy. All right. Shout out to Dave. Listen, we're going to go ahead and shut this down a little early, but we're going to continue this a little more because some people it's going to have to grow on, and some people never going to accept it. But this is what I'm putting out. This is what I believe, and I know the concordance is not going to lie to me. And so my interpretation might be faulty, maybe not, but at the same time, this is what I believe, and I'm looking for somebody to disprove it in some way or give me some argument that's Bible based that contradicts what I'm saying, and I'll accept it. I'm hoping I'm wrong, but from everything I've been seeing that's been bothering me, this lines it up perfectly. And so I will see you good people on Wednesday, or no, I'm gonna drop a video here in a day or 2 or whatever, and we'll get on the comment section there. Or if I have to, we'll open up another live before Monday. But we're gonna do our thing on this. All right. I love y'all, and everybody watching on replay, thank you for watching. All right. And make sure you go in the comment section, say what you got to say, and let's get a comment section going on this video, this live right here. All right. Peace out. I love you. Tanto amore.